Well, welcome to MEA week of Honors Earth Science. This week we're going to kind of slow it down a little bit, give you some time to either catch up on this course, revise, edit, add to your notes so that you're ready to go for when we get back. Give you some time if you need for other courses. Don't think that what we're doing this week isn't important. Because my goal for this week is for you to utilize the time that we have so that you don't have to rework or go back and be stressed out next week. Okay? So as you can see, remember this week we have 7 period days, whatever day that you're here. So that's kind of why I have 2 of the same thing on Monday, Tuesday, no school on Wednesday. We've got conferences, and then we have MEA Thursday, Friday. Okay. So as far as what needs to get done or things to think about for the week, everyone, no matter when I see you, or if you're a cohort C person, needs to complete the self-evaluation in Schoology for your Cornell sketch notes. Extremely important because it's going to give you an idea of, are you ready to go to start writing your rough draft when we get back or not? So based on those self-evaluations, you're going to improve your notes over the week if you need to. If you need to find more sources because your sources weren't focused or they weren't reliable, whatever the case is, you have some time to do that. I'm going to show you the rough draft scaffold or skeleton that you're going to be filling out when we come back next week. So that, again, hopefully that information will help you determine if you're ready to go with your notes or if you need more. And then there's a quick note down here at the bottom. If you score yourself low on the self-evaluation, utilize this week, this time off to improve. Okay. So I'm going to show you where materials are so that you can get these things done. So I'm going to go into the research unit folder, scroll down here to the Cornell Sketchnote rubric, self-evaluation. I'll open this up and walk us through that here. Okay. The top part of this is just a copy-paste from the assignment that was due on Friday so that you can kind of see where the rubric is coming from. Okay. First, and important is that you have reliable resources. Remember, if you're still having a hard time distinguishing or determining if something's reliable or not, use the link in the research folder for the CARP or CRAP test. Extremely important that you're using information that's reliable. Okay, mastery levels are 3 or more reliable resources. The next topic down is the structure of your notes. And again, this is coming from the video, the activity from a week ago Monday, where you took a look at what sketch notes were and how they are integrated into Cornell notes. Okay, so mastery levels for structure is that you have all of the correct sections, like the title up at the top. You've got your main ideas over on the left-hand side, your notes on the right-hand side, and then you have your summary at the very end of your notes for each of your sets of notes for your reliable resources. Including your own created icons for main ideas or questions or things to think about, whatever you chose to utilize there. Okay. As far as the quality, quantity, and detail of information, that's the next one down. Mastery levels are set at, for each source, you have more than one key concept for that set of notes. Okay, but more importantly, for each of those main ideas, wherever they are, you have at least 6 to 8 supporting facts that will help you articulate and discuss those main ideas in your paper. Okay, so that's mastery level. And that's where everybody really needs to be for all of these categories before you even start thinking about writing your paper. Okay, so if you're not, that's what this time is for this week. And then The last one, which I think is probably the most important, is relevance to your research question. I mentioned this a little bit last week. I don't want you writing notes just to write notes, writing information just to write information and have pages and pages of notes. They need to relate to your question. Well, whether is it how do we reduce fossil fuels? How do we help endangered species? Whatever the case is, all of your notes have to be very purposeful and relate to answering the question. Okay, not giving background necessarily. Background is important, but the purpose of this is to find solutions. Okay, so if your notes don't have solutions to your question, well, then you're going to need to go back. Okay, so mastery level is set at all information from resources not only relate to the research question, but main ideas work together to create a solution to the question. Okay, so you have resource 1, resource 2, resource 3, resource 4, how many you have. Okay, in order to be mastery, all of those big ideas have to mesh together to form some sort of solution to whatever question that you asked. Okay, so like I said, if you are not in the mastery category for any of these, you must get that done this week. So if that means grinding it out Monday and Tuesday because you don't want to deal with anything over the weekend, that's fine. But if you don't get it done Monday, Tuesday, you need to get it done Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day that you're going to work on this. Because if you don't, you are very far behind, and it's going to be a struggle and frustrating and stressful to kind of catch up. Okay, so be honest with yourself when you are looking at what you have for your Cornell sketch notes and what the rubric has. Okay, I would always err on the side of being, harder on myself than less. Okay, just to make sure that I have everything. Okay, now another thing to kind of help get your mind set to see if you have enough information or not is to actually go to the rough draft assignment. I can do that through the upcoming. And take a look at step number 1. It says use your notes to complete this scaffold, which is kind of like a skeleton for a paper, and make sure to look at the student example as a guide. So I'm going to take a look at the scaffold. Okay, it's a Google Doc, and you're just filling information in. Okay, you have this first part done. You have your research questions, so just type it in word for word the way that you've had it for the last couple of weeks. Okay, at some point you're going to need to find a hook. You can gather that information maybe from a cool fact or information from one of your sources, or you could tell a quick little story or anecdote or whatever the case is for a hook. I'm not too concerned about that right now as far as your notes go. It is more what we've got down here in the literature review. Okay, so essentially what you're doing over and over for every single source that you have is filling in this information. So according to, and you have to fill in the author and the source and the date that it was last updated or published or whatever the case is, the main idea. So that's why I'm telling you need 1 to 2 big main ideas, because you're going to fill that in here. And then here are your facts. All right. If you have more of them, that's good. Add them down. Facts 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, if that's what you've got. And then you're giving some sort of conclusion. Okay, so in conclusion, so-and-so, NASA, whatever says, and that's where your summary is coming in from your Cornell notes. Okay, so you can hopefully start to see where these things are integrated and related and important that you have your notes done properly. And then you're just repeating, okay, for however many articles you have. Okay, if you have 4, then you're just going to repeat and copy paste. Eventually down here in your analysis and conclusion, you need to talk about your solution, right? What solutions have people come up with? So you're listing your main ideas and explaining how those main ideas answer your research question. Okay. By no means am I expecting you to even start this week. Okay. We're going to come back to it. when we come back from our break. I'm going to go over it again in a little bit more detail, but I just wanted to show you this so that you can kind of see what you need. That way you can evaluate if you have enough information in your notes or not. Okay, there's a student example that's filled out, ready to go for you, so you can kind of see what you could potentially do. All right, this is very different. It's not the same prompt or anything, but kind of how to fill that in. Okay, so before I let you guys go, extremely important that you critically evaluate your notes based on the rubric. Make sure you're at mastery. If you're not, spend the time this week getting yourself there so that you're ready. Okay, take a look at all of the resources that I've provided, and I hope you have a wonderful week.